Okay, this is question number 2 for the written assignment, Unit 6. Find the surface area of the barn, including the floor. That's a good thing to know, including the floor. Maybe I'll highlight that, which is what I was trying to do, to the nearest square meter. So it tells us to round. We'll do that at the very end. So we need to figure out what shapes. This one asks us to include the floor, so we'll include the floor. If we just had a regular rectangular prism without this roof on it, we would have a rectangular prism like this, and if we unfolded it, we would get 4 kind of longer rectangles and 2 kind of shorter ones at the ends. So these ones at the ends are these ones here. These ones here, 1, 2, 3, and 4, they're not identical to each other. 2 of them will be pairs with the other 2, but that's not important. So in this net, this is the net of that shape, we have to think about which ones we care about. In this case, it says including the floor, so okay, we'll include the right side, we'll include the left side over here, we'll include the floor, we'll include the front, we'll include the back over there. So we'll include everything but the roof, because the roof has been replaced with this arch. So we just have to knock out one of these. One of these doesn't count, but it's important to remember which one. So the one that doesn't count is this, where the joists would be for this roof, which is 20 by 30 meters long. So one of these that is 20 by 30 meters, we don't count. The other ones we do. So let's just make a little list. We've got, I'm going to number them. We've got number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Number 1 and number 5 are the front and the back. They're the same as each other. And they are, each of them, length times width, 20 meters times, in this case the width would be like the height, 10 meters. So each of them has an area of 200 square meters. So the area there is 200 square meters, and the area there is 200 square meters. I'm going to do the other pair, the left and the right. The left and the right, doesn't really matter which one we call. I'll call them 2 and 4. Because there's got to be the floor in between them. This is going to be the floor, that would be the roof, if the roof was flat. So numbers 2 and 4 are these shapes here, this one on the right and the opposing one on the left. And they are 10 by 30. Or 300 square meters each. So the area of this one and the area of that one are 300 square meters each. All that's left is number 3. Number 3 is the floor. It doesn't have a pair because the roof is this dome instead. Well, that's not a dome, but whatever. Curved shape, semi-cylinder. So this one is 20 by 30 meters long. 20 is given here, and this line is parallel, so it has the same measure. This one is 30, and this one is parallel, so it has the same measure. So 20 by 30. That says 30. And 20 by 30 is 600 square meters. And remember, there's no pair for that one. So this one, number 3, 600 square meters. So far, we've got 200 and 200 and 300 and 300 and 600, which is a bunch. It's so far at 1,000. So far we've got our total of 200 plus there's another 200, 300, 300, and 600 square meters. These are all in meters squared. If we add them all up, we get to 1,600 square meters. We still have to do the roof though, the actual roof, the curvy roof. So the curvy roof is up here. and it is half of a cylinder. So if we took a cylinder like this and we sliced it down the middle, we're only getting half of it. We still have the top and the bottom. This part here we would include, and that part we would here we would include, but they're half circles instead of full circles. And I'm just going to draw the net of a cylinder right here. So this is the whole cylinder, but we're not including, well, this half of the circle, and we're not including this half of that circle, and we're also not including half, however we want to pull it left or right, half of that rectangle. So this is the drawing of it, but that's not super important. We can just get there from the formula too. The surface area for a cylinder, I guess surface area, is 2, this is on your formula sheet, 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. 2 pi r squared is 2 circles, and 2 pi r h is this rectangle. This length there is 2 pi r, 1 circumference of a circle, and that measurement there is height of the cylinder. So if we want half a cylinder, let's divide it by 2. Why not? If I look at these 2's and 2's, I can say 2 will cancel in each case. Remember that if we split up something that's got 2 terms in the numerator but 1 term in the denominator, that's done this way, where we have to duplicate that denominator down there, so that when we cancel the 2 and the 2 and the 2 and the 2, we don't lose track of anything. So the surface area for this half cylinder is pi r squared plus pi r h, which we just got from taking our formula for surface area of a cylinder and chopping it in 2. If you waited until later to divide by 2, that's fine. It'll work just fine. You get the same answer. So pi r squared, we need to just check what's r. The length from there to there is 20, so half is going to be the radius. If the diameter of the circle is 20 meters, that means the radius is diameter over 2, which is 10 meters. So we fill in 10 meters. And for the height of a cylinder would be from here to here. In this case, this cylinder has been knocked over on its side and put on a barn. The height is over here, this line, which is 30 meters long. Now, if we do this, 10 squared is 100, multiplied by, I'm going to use 3.14. It's going to be 314. And for the second term, 30 times 10 is 300, and I'm going to use 3.14 again. So I get 942. So 314 plus 942 is 1256, 1,256 square meters. This is the area of this thing here, including the front bit there and the back bit there. So this is what I've got so far. I've got 1,600 square meters from the flat parts and 1,256 from the non-flat parts. So I want the total. That's 1,256 from the curvy bit, from the cylinder bit, and 1,600 from the flat parts, which gives you 2,856 square meters as your final answer. To the nearest square meter, I don't even have to round because I used the 3.14 button, or sorry, instead of the pi button, but if you use the pi button, you should round to about the same. So the total surface area here is 2,856. That was already almost 10 minutes. New video for next question.